Hi. So, wait, where the fuck is my playlist? There's my playlist. There's my playlist. Let me go ahead and boot up a song. No, this one's good. Oh, this one. Anyway, today we continue working on my business cards. Did I mention how much I hate working in CMYK? Because if you look over here, I spent basically all afternoon manually going through values. How much snow is there? If I may ask. I realized I also forgot to, I'm gonna attempt to draw fingernails one more time, but I don't have hopes. It was not snowing when we got here like 2 hours ago. Well, I mean, if it's only a couple of inches, it's not that bad. Just drive slower than usual. Once it gets like 5 inches, that's when you're kind of fucked. Meanwhile, it's not supposed to hit over here until like eh, next hour or so. Which I guess isn't bad. Means I get fresh powder tomorrow. But also for you, it's it means you're gonna be stuck there for God knows how long. I'm so sorry. Why is it that whenever I draw fingernails, it always comes off looking strange? Okay, so they should go halfway between the joint and. See, normally I would just leave them off, but. I feel like I should start actually drawing them in. Hmm. I can't feel my ankles. Bad dismount from a lift. Ouch. Yeah, maybe take it easy. I know that like tomorrow my legs are probably gonna be like dead. Like my calves and stuff. It's gonna be interesting, alright? Alright, I also gotta go ahead and put in the gray. 50% gray. What is that in CMYK? So basically, if you have 50 of like every single value, you get like this ugly ass warm color. Oh, I should also go ahead and change my color profile to. Is it Fogra 39, Fogra 20? You know what? No, I'm just gonna stick with good old Japan 2001 color coded. Yeah. I'm making hot chocolate to be lazy and relax for the rest of the night now. Is it like the shitty powdered stuff, or are you actually using milk and like actual chocolate? Because there is difference. But yeah, anyway, I did spend like all afternoon taking all these colors and just like messing around with the sliders. Uh just so like I actually have a concrete palette for like print purposes. It was not fun. I'm being extra trying a recipe I saw where hot chocolate made a slow cooker. Ooh. Well, to be fair, I that is still fairly lazy though, because like slow cooker, yeah, you can just put everything in there and then forget about it. Meanwhile, like if you actually make it on a stove, you have to like babysit it, which is not fun. So milk, cinnamon sticks, semi-sweet chips, vanilla extract, and I like Abuelita brand chocolate. Ooh, I should go ahead and like try that because I've heard it's really good. Communication. The circle. If I really wanted to be extra, I'd make my own whipped cream, but I don't have a mixer. Well, you see, if you have enough arm strength, you can totally make it yourself with just a whisk. But why would you? I learned that the hard way when I wanted to be lazy and like make my own meringue by hand, and then I quickly learned no, just stick with the electric beater. My legs are already shot. Why would I also want to destroy my arms also? I mean, full body workout, am I right? I really am not used to working in this small of a resolution. And for half my screen to be, like, taken up by something else. Also, how else am I supposed to, like, pick my colors? I'm not about to, like, actually type in CMYK values. Fuck that. I also do not want to accidentally have like any I feel like the hair is like slightly too light. Maybe I'll all come together like when I shade, but man. No, that's about right. I love how CMYK is just hell on greens. Cause it took me forever to like get a green that is like sufficiently bright enough. This is why RGB is superior. But no, I have to be a master of both worlds if I want to actually do anything printed. あらまズッキュンズッキュン私ズッキュンドッキュンドッキュン心ドッキュンは毎日出しましょうズッキンズッキン頭ズッキンドッキンドッキン心ドッキンはしてたんですよあたしとしわちゃちゃちゃわちゃちゃちゃそしてあなたと二人わちゃちゃちゃちゃむ On the bright side, at least I can do this. Wait, no. Skin color should extend a bit further. Yeah. 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 Because this is all still skin. Whereas that is coat. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Anyway, have I told you guys how much I hate graphic design? Because I really hate graphic design. And yet you torture yourself with back-to-back projects nonstop. No! My hatred of graphic design is completely different. I only really did this because I have to. If I want to do, like, anything like, say, update business cards or make keychains and stuff, it's easier for me to just have a set palette that I can pick from. So it's necessary, but also I hate it. And I wish I could pay somebody else to do it. Not to mention I have to do yet another palette, because, the manufacturer that I usually go to for, like, acrylic goods and stuff, they do not allow the use of rich black, which is, like, not... So, anyway, when it comes to, like, printing, there's, like, two different kinds of black, there's, like, pure black ink, which is, like, the K part of, like, CMYK, uh, and then there's rich black. Unfortunately, like, using, like, pure, like, black ink does not, it's not as dark as it could be, So if you want to, like, darken it further, you actually mix in, like, some of the other inks just to, like, make it even more intense. So that's, like, the difference between, like, rich black and normal black. Unfortunately, because of that, like, the rich black takes longer to dry and smudges easier, which is why my manufacturer forbids us from using rich black. Which sucks, because I'd have to compensate by lightening the rest of my palette. Okay, at least there is enough contrast between the hair. Well, there's gonna be more considering the fact that, like, I am gonna be doing, like, gradient effects to it. But, for now there's enough. Oh no. Okay, that is slightly better. Comparison to this. What the fuck? Hang on, I need to take a listen to something. Kimiを泣かすからだから一緒にはいれないな君を泣かすから早く忘れてほしいんだ人間だからねたまには違うものも食べたいね君を泣かすからそう君を泣かすからでも味気ないんだよね会いたくなんだよね Oh my god, I am going to shoot myself ないんだよねなんて勝手だねI'm gonna have to manually type in all these numbers. 君が教えてくれないか何十回の夜を過ごしたってられるような愛知ってるを並べてみて何十回の夜を過ごしたって Hello, Roach Hive Mind. Welcome. As you can tell from the name of the stream, I hate working in CMYK. I just found out that if I have like an RGB based document, even though I have converted all the colors to CMYK on my color picking side, that don't mean shit. 人間だからねたまに分かり合えなくなって君を泣かすからまた君を泣かすからでも自信がないんだよね変わりたくないんだよね君が会いたくないY'all heard nothing. I am going to kill myself. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. 4, 6. Oh, okay. Strange, because everything skin tone picked correctly, but not the 65 or 48. No, I do prefer this one. Can't do art without pain. Exactly. Exactly. Ugh. Cool tone color this. Look, was I also color picking from the wrong side? No, I was not. Weird. I mean, I guess I could go into this document again. Because I'm in the wrong color profile? 39? There's no difference? Fuck? Weird. Anyway. Y'all heard nothing. Y'all heard nothing. But yes, welcome. Welcome. I'm bitching about how much I hate working in CMYK because yeah, apparently all the colors I've set earlier are not the colors that I'm getting. Like, okay, so like that last document that like I showed you guys had like a whole bunch of numbers and stuff on it. Those are like CMYK like values, you know? Um Unfortunately, like I went ahead and like slid everything over like earlier today, and now when I go and like directly color pick, they don't match up with the numbers I typed out. And it is tripping me up, alright. Like whatever, I guess. As long as it achieves the same result. Anyway, this is why I kind of hate working with print media, you know? Because not only do I have to worry about this stuff and like color conversion, I also have to worry about the specific color profiles that like the printers use. And the company that I'm thinking of going with, does not list their specific profile, so I can't even like have an accurate preview. I'm now confused on how the color values would change when making and then saving. Yeah, I'm confused too. Believe me, that's why I'm like baffled. I guess it's just a more efficient. Also, what's the difference between RGB and CMYK? Okay, so RGB is for screens and CMYK is for print media, yeah? So it basically has to do with like how stuff gets displayed. So for like screens, you know, when all the pixels are turned off, like your screen's pure black, right? So RGB is like additive color. In other words, you slowly add in reds, greens, and blues until you get white. Whereas CMYK is subtractive, you know? So you start out with a white piece of paper, and then you slowly add on color until you get black. Um, and because like RGB is working with pure light, and CMYK you're working with dyes, CMYK ends up coming out a lot duller than RGB. So, and also if you directly print a picture that's like from RGB, it'll end up looking a lot of the times much darker than like how it does on screen, you know? It's one of those things that like you don't really think about until you're like actually starting to make like stuff that's meant to be printed out. Yeah. CMYK is for like printing, so you know, pictures, books, photos, books, keychains, anything that like you can physically hold, and it's in color. That's what CMYK is for, and it literally stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and key, which is black. It's basically yeah. And the thing with like CMYK is it does allow for like a larger variety of colors to be well, it's basically RYB, but the pinkness of like the magenta allows for like more stuff to be canceled out and more colors to be made, you know, because I believe they are like, yeah, they're like perfect 3 points on a triangle, you know? You'd think it'd be easier to just draw an RGB and then have a separate one for CMYK afterwards. Yeah, but you see, it's. The thing is, it's actually a lot more of a pain in the ass to correct colors from RGB to CMYK as opposed to just working directly in CMYK, you know? Because, like, every single printer, like, well, a good manufacturer will tell you exactly what profile they work in. So you can go ahead and, like, load out a preview, and then, if your art program is good enough, basically what you see is going to be roughly equivalent to what you will get like when it's handed back to you, you know? Um the thing of the thing is that like converting directly from like RGB to CMYK, like you have to do a lot of stuff to it in order to get the colors to come out right. Not to mention, like, with some printers, like for instance, the manufacturer that I work with for acrylic keychains and stuff, they do not allow you to use rich black, which is like essentially like 100% black plus like something like 50% magenta, yellow, cyan, all the other colors. Um, Essentially it allows you to get a deeper black, right? But because like more ink is used, it smudges easier, and because of that, my manufacturer does not allow it. Um, so if I were to directly correct from RGB to like that with that specific restriction in mind, my colors will be my black will be fine, but all my other colors will be very washed out, you know? So because of things like that, like sometimes it is just easier to like work directly in CMYK. Eh, That way you can like ensure that your final product will not look like shit. So yeah, sometimes you just really don't want to do the whole color correction dance. That being yeah, but from the issues you are having, it'd probably just be easier to have two references for the two groups. That's exactly what I have over here to the side. Um, so what you see over here is like the print palette, and then this is the RGB palette. And that was essentially what I spent all afternoon doing. And honestly, like, a reference is a reference. Your design doesn't really change. It's really only the color palette that needs to be adjusted. That being said, I am gonna only test order like 20 business cards at first. Or maybe if they allow it, I'll do like a singular test print so I if I have to, I can go ahead and like correct the colors. Hmm. Hmm. I'm also like half debating whether is this no Seer just an avatar? Well, you tell me. Considering the fact that it is an updated version of, well, what you see on screen right now. Unfortunately, Live 2D 5.3's SDK is currently broken and does not work with VTube Studio, so it will be a while before you see the updated 2.0 model. And I'm hoping that they fix it soon, because apparently they're starting work on 5.4 already when 5.3 isn't even stable. Needless to say, I'm a bit pissed. Actually, let me go ahead and see the Live 2D server. Is there any news? No. There is a sale. Oh, but it does go until January 5th. $91 with an additional 20% off. Oh. Hang on. 1.21. Yeah, that's only $72. That's not bad. Okay, what? I'm good. There. But yes, I am a VTuber. And I did draw and rig my own model. So, for the next one, I'm not going to be rigging it myself because I've had enough of that life. From now on, everything I do is going to be simple. At least in that department. Yeah, I would rather have it looking slightly green. I was thinking of making a model for myself, but I wasn't sure on what to use. Well, I mean, the easiest and cheapest thing is to just buy a pre-made model, well, one of those customizable models, and then just mess around with it. But if you really want to like DIY your own model, if you want to go 2D, Live 2D is like literally your only option. Um, Everything else that like does somewhat like motion graphics, After Effects, Spine 2D, they're not compatible with like any face tracking software. So yeah, you're basically stuck with Live 2D. Whereas like if you want to do something that's like 3D, you have a lot more options. You could do like Blender, Unity, Autodesk, Maya, if you really want. Blah! Um, or you could use like VRoid Studio, but personally, I don't really like VRoid Studio. It is it's very easy to use, but also you have to put in a lot of work in order to like make it look good texture wise. Well, I mean everything you have to like put in a lot of work for like for like good looking textures, but I don't know. I do find like a lot of the times you're kind of like fighting the software for VRoid, you know? If it can track mouse movement, then it's good enough for me. I mean, yeah, there are ways to like set it up so that you can track mouse movement. It's just that like, yeah, you would have to rig that yourself because everything that I know that is like currently on the market is all more for like face tracking and stuff, you know? Like for instance, it's like the tablet that I'm using right now, that is actually a separate like software that like somebody coded for this type of stuff. It's called Spud Tablet. Yeah, that's like what's being used currently to like track my hand for like drawing and stuff. I should actually probably like do a custom texture for the arm, but I'm lazy, okay? But if I go ahead and turn it off, this is this is like the full model, you know? So, yeah. Tablet down here, separate software, tracks like my mouse movement, or rather my tablet pen, because I don't actually, well, technically it is mouse, considering the fact that like a drawing tablet is basically just a replacement for like a mouse. But if you're gonna be using it for drawing, I will say people do not recommend tracking your mouse move your like drawing tablet through Live 2D directly. Like, yeah, use external software. There's like a little bit too much like latency and wobbliness, you know? I was thinking of having the model turn in the same direction as the mouse movement. Oh yeah, that you can absolutely like link it up. So it's hard to like say this without like actually pulling up Live 2D, and I don't want to because I know for a fact that like my license has expired because I'm no longer a student. But yeah, so the way that like the head is like right is you'd have to figure out a separate like solution for like head tilt, cause that is a completely separate parameter called head Z, I believe. But X and Y is essentially just like, turn your head left and right and then up and down. That you can easily like that you can easily set in VTube Studio. So you would rig your head angles normally, and then in VTube Studio you would link those parameters with mouse position. And I would also recommend, if you're doing that, to also link your eye movement also to your mouse position, to cursor position, because it's gonna look real weird if, like, you're looking one way and then if you're looking one way and then, like, your eyes just like constantly like this, unless that's the effect that you're like going for, and that, in which case, whatever floats your boat. Or am I a string, you say? Oh. I can already think of how you would do that. So essentially, in Live 2D, there's a thing called, what is it? Essentially, it'll like automatically section out your model into parts and set them with a whole bunch of rotational deformers. In that case, you should probably set like set your position, like your general position, to your mouse movement. And the only rigging you would have to do essentially is of course, eyes. And then all those rotation deformers that you have that essentially like make up the worm body, set them all to physics pendulums and link those to your XY position. Yeah. And also crank up your parameters to be responsive. Maybe not responsive enough to the point where like it breaks, but wiggle. But yeah, just like make in like the physics menu, set as many pendulums as there are segments, and yeah. Yeah, no. Rigging, just use Live 2D. Just use Live 2D. It's gonna be hell to like do it in Blender or something. At least I don't know how you would do it in Blender, like 3D. But yeah. For model art, literally just any drawing program will work. I personally use Clip Studio Paint. Um I know a couple of friends who use Krita Fire Alpaca, which is basically also Krita. No, wait. No. Krita, and then there's like Medibang / Fire Alpaca. Those are the same as well. Photoshop, if you really wanna, well, it is always morally correct to pirate Adobe products, but also, why the fuck would you draw with like Photoshop? Photoshop kind of sucks. Um, Procreate, if you like working on iPads. Just make sure to like separate everything, uh, except for the body that's like meant to move. For the body, just do it in one straight line. Like, don't put wiggles in it. Just let me just do a new layer, so I can at least show you how to like separate it. So what you have here is, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it on a separate canvas so like I can actually like properly do colors. So essentially, your regular ass drawing program, right? Whatever, any program of your choice. So first layer you'll have is the worm body. This one completely straight, no bends. I'm freehanding this. When you're drawing this, please use the symmetry tool for the love of God. Um, and then another layer. These are your eyes, your eye whites, that is. And then your pupils. And of course, if you choose to do so, the string. And so how you should probably rig this is, head X is, having this rotate back and forth, you know? And then body X, body Y. That is essentially just like your worm, moving, you know? Uh, Actually, hang on. Hi, Raph. I'm thinking of like how to optimize this, okay? It has been. Hi, Ink. Oh, well. Hi, Romy. My brain is fried. Anyway, thank you for the follow, Roach. But yeah, honestly, like I'm thinking because, uh, you want your physics to be linked with your physical movement, you know, but also, you know what? Yeah, when you do like your canvas, I guess. Well, no, you want this thing to be like relatively stationary anyway, right? So, yeah, just like body X and Y is literally just like the constraints of the position that you want it to move on the canvas. Yeah. Uh, and then your physics parameters. This is where you go into Live 2D and Live 2D. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and boot up the program. I don't care if it's 5.0 or 5.2. As long as it boots up. Yes, I know. Deactivate license. Okay. Stars free version. Cancel. Let's see your recent file. I guess I'll just open it. Okay, you know what? I have 5.2 installed. I'm gonna have to open this up, but there is a specific thing that you want to do, and it is literally right on the tip of my tongue. Yes, I know. I have an expired license. Okay, okay. You know what? Why isn't it loading? Oh, is it freezing on me? Lovely. Motherfucker. I'm gonna have to kill it. Cancel. Okay, okay, okay. It's here. It's here. Okay, never mind. I don't have to kill it. I don't have to kill it. I'm gonna go ahead and actually just open, yeah, let's just go ahead and open the Rena model for now. I don't know where in the model might have. Yes, I know. So yes. Anyway, what's a good piece to demonstrate? know what, fuck it. I'll use this one. Okay, so modeling. You want to go into, yes, skinning. Well, essentially you'd set, like, am I modeling? No, I am currently, like, essentially demonstrating how you would do the, worm on string. I am currently working on a business card. But anyway, yeah, so how you would do this is essentially you would set rotation deformers on, like, the top and the bottom, head and the tail of the, on the, head and the tail of the worm, and then you select skinning, and then it'll prompt you, like, say, like, how many segments you want. As many segments as your heart desires, and it'll essentially automatically just, like, split it up for you into, like, segments and stuff. And then you can, in the physics menu, make sure to count how many segments you end up with, because that will be uh, how many pendulums you will need on your physics parameter. And they are all, like, chained one after another, you know? So, essentially your physics pendulum will look like a very simplified version of your, worm on string. And that's how you do it, you know? I'm not gonna lie, it's easier to just do it than explain it, but I hope you made sense of my, the ramblings of a madman. You see, as much as I hate rigging, I also just, like, I cannot deny that I do know how to do it, and because of that, it's an interesting challenge, is what I will say. But unfortunately, because, like, I'm not that good at doing head angles, that's why I gave up. Yes, I know, Raph. Head hurty. But no, Romy, we are currently working on my new business cards, and I do not enjoy working with CMYK. I really do not. All my colors come out wrong. Should I do this or this? There's, like, no difference. Okay, then. Update on the hot chocolate. It was great. Fantastic. Was thick enough to dip toast into it, but not so thick that it was sludge. Ew. Oh, I need to try that. And then if you want it thinner, you just add a bit more milk, right? Oh wait, I forgot this. Got my sleeves. And this. I'll post pic of it on the Discord. Ooh, yay. Make sure to give the recipe too. My mind has been tainted by one image, and every time I heard hot chocolate, I think of it instead. My condolences. My condolences. Because hot chocolate is truly delicious. I love festive stuff. So around holidays, I get a huge craving for it. Ugh. And thank you! I, uh, honestly, I think this is like the first drawing that I've done of like myself in quite a while. Because I know in July, I went ahead and attempted essentially the most medically accurate drawing that like I've ever had the misfortune of trying to make. I had to look up so many medical textbooks that for like an entire month I was getting like medical school application help advertisements and like, you know, MCAT prep materials. It's like, but I don't want to go into medical school. If anything, I'm like the first person to say, you know, I am the first person to openly admit that I have a vendetta against med students. And that is mostly because they all screwed me out of some really nice research and internship positions, you know? And like, yeah, the incoming rant, but honestly, like, I get that research positions are nice CV fillers and all, but have I sent in more applications? No, those don't start until well, actually no, I don't start contacting professors until January. And applications don't get sent out until I have secured a PI. Yeah. I know. Let's see. Spray paint can. I love how for the last 6 hours I've been making a religion for RimWorld and have yet to get past that screen. I mean, to be fair, sometimes you just get carried away with world building. And I hate how drab this color looks now. Oh, yeah. Here is like a prime example of like how CMYK and like RGB changes. Cause should they be cannibals or just plain cultists? Me for the past 6 hours. I guess this is where you flip a coin and then make your decision based on that, you know? If you're happy with what fate gave you, then you roll with it. If you find yourself being like, I don't know about that boss, then that's your heart speaking out, saying maybe you do want cannibal cultists instead. At least that's how like my decision making usually goes. The main issue is if I want to just be a generic insane cult or be a metagaming specific one because funny. Oh, now that's hard. That's hard. Okay, I will say metagaming one. There's zombies, 40k stuff, and the planet is hurling away from the sun, so I have a lot to metagame towards. Yeah, yeah. I think you should go with the metagaming. Ringo Burr, indeed. Oh wait, I know how to do this. I have fonts for this. Why else did I get that massive font pack? If not to take advantage of the graffiti fonts that are in there. Now for another 6 hours on what my 5 non-important deities' names should be. May I suggest a little thing called fantasy name generators? Or writer. Wait. Marker. None of these look right. Type accelerator also does not look right. You guys don't really see me doing anything right now, but I am. I'm scrolling through a bunch of fonts, and I do not. I do not really see anything that I like. In other words, I'm gonna have to write it myself. No, I'm not gonna be spending 10 hours creating my own font. This is for a one-off thing. Oh, Comic Sans. No, no. I refuse. I refuse. Absolutely not. Thank you for the gift sub, Mr. Anonymous. Well, oh, anonymous benefactor. There we go. But yes, enjoy your emojis. I worked hard on those. Wait, I forgot. I should definitely be coloring up here as well. Rubs. Get down. Here. There we go, there we go. No, no. Want my attention, you guys stay here, okay? Okay then. I thought you would not be able to jump up there, but nope. I know you're pissed. Too bad. Okay. Now that I have this base done, it's time for the less fun part of this. I think I'm just gonna go for like something simple. I'm not gonna do like the full 9 yards when it comes to like. Do I want to do the full 9 yards when it comes to like my eyes and stuff? Or do I want to go for something simpler? Go flip through my artwork. I guess I should probably go for the full. Also, would it even show up? I guess you don't know until you try. Alright, this part. Okay, okay. Onto the eyes. I love drawing eyes. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Maybe I won't do the full. This isn't even a show. Okay, that's at least better. And now I worry about the hair. Wait, what do I even want this color to be? I guess this is good enough. I just really hope that, like, it doesn't get too dark, you know? And maybe I'll just only do one layer shading or something. Oops. Mm-hmm. Part of me thinks this entire strand should be, like, shaded out. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, why am I so itchy on my arm? Am I developing hives? I really hope I'm not developing hives. Okay. This is honestly like my least favorite part of the process, just like planning out where all the shadows will go. Even though I don't really plan. But that's what. I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough for this layer. Oh wait. There's also back here. Now for an even darker color. That's good enough. Okay. Oh. Yes, I need to also have this on hand. That's good algorithm pull. Make the halftones. I don't want them this dense. I will reach for my own one. No. No. Uh. Mm, halftones. A monochromatic pattern dot. A bit. This one's not dense enough. A bit too dense. Need to find like still too dense. Perfect. What color do I usually make these? Oh yeah, green. Apply. Decisions. I definitely want this to be like some kind of blend mode. You know what? Yeah, maybe linear light at 20%. Maybe. Yeah, I'll do this. Then highlights. Okay, I need to sharpen these edges. Otherwise, yeah. Good. Okay. I guess that'll do for highlights. Yeah. Well, except for maybe, 40. Bleh. Ah.しょうがないやつなんてなんだかでさよならも切になれた頃集めて便利などで僕らは通過して世の思いやんで一生消えない傷は消せないままこっちまえよああ待って目をそらせないで繰り返って常識の向こうなんだぜもっとかわしてどれ入るの僕なんて君と友達との人とやってたいんだぜわーわーほらまた聞こえてる深くから遠いとこからほら刻んリズムは続いてく窓くても触れても見かれてもずるい言われても早くだえんざぶ寂しいだろ There. Now the highlights are good. Now we go on to skin, clothing, and it is 11:44. And I do have to wake up early tomorrow, so You know what? Let's call it a night early. I am gonna go into Polaris, who is currently playing Minecraft. Yes, I will have fun on ice ski. I want to learn to board, but you know what? The mountain that I did get lift tickets for this season is pretty hard. I would not dare like try to learn on it. So yeah, I'm gonna be skiing. Tomorrow evening, Shiz and I both actually have scheduling conflicts, so we are gonna, instead of doing a Vocaloid producer Vocaloid producer ranking tier list, we found out that Nero actually put out an entire EP of like Lost Once a Week being remixes and stuff. So I suppose we will go ahead and rank those instead. Um I never ski, only board. I'm scared of accidentally doing the splits. Well, see if you're good. You won't. But yes. We will yeah, tomorrow evening at either like around 8 or 9, depends on when like Shizu finishes her lore. We'll go ahead and do that, and then at 10. Okay, my phone ran out of battery. So I didn't realize I didn't fully plug it in. So yikes. Anyway, yeah. At 10:30 we will be switching to I will be switching Minecraft, and we will be doing the well, no. At 10:15. That gives me like 15 minutes of prep and stuff. Um but yeah, we will go ahead and switch to Eclipse Finale. So, yes. And after that we'll be fully into next season prep time. Yeah. With that, good night everybody. Uh I will see y'all tomorrow evening for an exciting very exciting evening.